Hi everybody, it's me Jill. Welcome to Jill Informed. I am coming to you on location. I am in Tucson, Arizona on a little vacation with my husband. So this week the videos are still coming out, but they're going to be a little bit short and not doing screenshots and all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to fit all these shows in. I'm only here for 4 nights, and 3 of those nights I have Bravo shows to watch. So yeah, my husband's not thrilled, but I'm trying to get all this done while we do other things. We just got back from dinner. We went to a Mexican restaurant that was not so great. I thought in Tucson, like, Mexican would be the kind of food to get, right? Because we're so close to Mexico. I mean, a lot closer than we are when I'm in Chicago. But, like, for example, they just put cheddar cheese on my tostada. Cheddar. And my husband said the chicken was like very flavorless, and it was not what I would expect, but you know, we're just kind of rolling with it. So we just got back to the room, and I am about to watch Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So I am filming while I'm watching, and I cannot wait to get started. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 9, Episode 1, Lucy, Lucy, Apple Juicy. Let's get started. Oh boy, okay. We start right from the jump with the big fight between Kyle and Lisa Vanderpump. And we don't know what's wrong, but Kyle is over at Villa Rosa. Lisa is saying, "If I did something wrong, Kyle, I would admit it." And Kyle's saying, "Just because you do something wrong doesn't mean I'm not going to still love you." And Lisa's denying it, and it's ugly. Kyle said, "Maybe you care about your image more than your friends." Oh, it's not good. And then she's fighting with Ken. "Kyle, get out of here. Get out of this house, Kyle." Lisa kicks her out, and you just see Kyle walking out with one of the dogs running after her. And yeah, and then we see 2 months earlier. So, oh boy, we are already starting off with a bang. Okay, so we're kind of getting reintroduced to all the ladies again. Everybody's waking up and having breakfast with their families, and Kyle invited everybody to a pool party, including Lisa Vanderpump, because, you know, this is 2 months earlier. And normally I would say this was a throwaway scene, but Lisa Rinna and her daughters, Amelia and Delilah, go to goat yoga. Oh my God, it's so cute. I want a goat so bad, you guys. They are adorable. I want to live somewhere where I can have a goat and maybe a couple of chickens just for the eggs. I don't really like chickens. Like, I wouldn't want to touch a chicken necessarily, but I do think it would be cool to, like, you know, have fresh eggs like that every day. This was interesting. Delilah brought her puppy with, which at first I thought was really stupid and a bad idea, but after the yoga, the puppy was playing with the goats. Adorable. Okay, so I feel like the ladies are getting to know each other again. It really feels like on the off season when they're not filming that they don't really hang out with each other. At least not all of them. For sure not all of them. So Teddy came over to Kyle's house, and they're having a chat, and Kyle says to the confession cam how much she loves Teddy. So they've been getting along great, I guess. And then we have a little scene with Dorit coming over to Erica's house. And Dorit is wearing what appears to be an olive green diaper? Maybe shorts that look like a diaper-ish situation. I'm not sure I have a handle on it. I don't hate it. I'm just not sure about it yet. So this is so weird because over at Kyle's house. She and Teddy are talking about how Kyle got robbed. Do you guys remember that at the end of last season? Her house was robbed, and Teddy's husband, Edwin, was in charge of the security, but it hadn't been installed yet, I guess, or it was just installed and it hadn't been turned on yet. I don't know, something like that. So now it's all good. It's turned on. She stayed in the house. There was a question about whether she was going to move or not, but she stayed in the house, and it is beautiful. I really do like the house. I mentioned it last year. I feel like it's different from what I normally see with the other, palatial estates. It's sort of old-fashioned looking. I don't know how to describe it, but I really like it. We saw this reiteration of how she lost all her purses and all her jewelry, pieces from her mom who has passed away and that can't be replaced, and it was sad. Okay, now over at Erica's house, she was asking how's PK, and she goes, "Oh, PK is great. But something terrible happened. We were robbed, and all of my purses and all of my jewelry was gone." I mean, it's not funny. It just sounded exactly like what Kyle said. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe when you've got like super expensive jewelry and Birkin bags all over your house, maybe that's what thieves know to go for instead of like, what would be easy to snatch and grab? I guess the purses and the jewelry. Okay, oh my God, you guys. The Vanderpump Dog Scene is next. Kyle and Teddy show up at Vanderpump Dogs with their kids, Portia and Slate, and they're holding... I still maintain that Vanderpump Dogs only takes in cute, adorable, tiny puppies, because that's all I've ever seen at this place. Anyway, John, the very catty boy that works there for Lisa, has a dog in his arms, and he says to Kyle, "Do you recognize her?" And Kyle's like, "No, should I?" And Lisa's going, ixnay, nope, don't say anything. And he's like, "Oh, okay. So now, of course, Kyle's like, what is going on here? So he spills it because he's so angry. It was adopted by Dorit and PK. And according to Dorit, the dog had bit the kids a few times and then bit PK on the nose. And there was a picture of it. So she thought it was rehomed with a lovely family. But it ended up in a shelter. And because Vanderpump Dogs has all their dogs chipped, the shelter called Lisa Vanderpump and said, "We have one of your dogs here." And they found out that it was Lucy Apple Juice. So they took her back. But Lisa said, "I'm sure she believed that it went to a very good home. I don't blame her at all." Then they go in this other room where the dogs that they just received are in cages, and they're there for 7 days, kind of to make sure they don't have kennel cough or anything like that. And Lisa said, "Oh, I missed you at the party. I really wanted you to be there, Kyle." And she's like, "Lisa, stop it. Don't even do this. Don't even go there." She's like, "What?" First of all, she's talking about that Daily Mail TV party at Tom Tom. Kyle said, "I was just getting home from a trip. I just flew home. It was like 4 a.m. with the time change to me. And you said, don't even worry, I didn't invite everybody because it isn't really my party. So don't pull that acting like, oh, I wish you would come and you didn't invite me and that was fine. So you just stop this. Now you're acting like you're mad that I didn't show up to your party, yet Dorit returns a dog to a shelter and you say, oh no, she didn't mean it. So Kyle leaves and she's mad. Okay, so that scene actually ends with Lisa breaking down and apologizing to Kyle, and they hugged. Lisa's, a lot of this has to do with losing her brother. She says she doesn't normally get emotional like that. They're kind of, they make up a little bit there. Okay, this next scene is fun. It's at Lisa Rinna's house, and this is our first glimpse of Denise Richards. She comes over. Those two have known each other for, 30 years. Then Dorit comes over, and Erica. Erica seems to be a real fan of Denise Richards. I know who she is, and I've seen her in a million things, but I couldn't really tell you what movies she's been in, other than that one with with Neve Campbell? Was she in a movie with Neve Campbell? Wild Things or something? Where they make out with each other? No. Obviously, I know who she is. And that she was married to Charlie Sheen and all that. So then Erica asks her, how long were you and Charlie married? And she said 4.5 years. And then she said to Lisa Rinna, and you did something with him, right? You did a movie or something? And Lisa tells everybody, yeah, actually, he licked my toes in that movie. And then, of course, we get to see the scene. Oh, God. Just knowing Lisa Rinna the way we know her now, it's so funny to me. Okay, Lisa and Ken and Dorit and PK are having dinner together. Side note, does Dorit have stock in Gucci? This is the second time in like back-to-back scenes because she was wearing these brown pants with the Gucci logo to Lisa Rinna's house. Now she's wearing black pants with the Gucci print logo to this dinner with Lisa and Ken. Plus her blouse is Gucci, like with the Gucci logo. She loves her Gucci as much as Jennifer loves Chanel. Yeah, they are brand loyal. Anyway, Lisa said, before we begin, I just want to get this whole thing cleared up with Lucy. She tells her that this John guy is really upset. And Dorit is kind of like, I thought we got this already figured out. We were done with it. I told you that this woman came over who wanted her, and we thought we had the perfect home for her. And so we're sorry. And PK's like, I mean, how could we know that was going to happen? She said, that's why we have very stringent guidelines in place with a $5,000 penalty. Yeah. Dorit signed a contract with Vanderpump Dogs that she would not, I guess, rehome it under a $5,000 penalty. Dorit to the confession cam is kind of like, I mean, I didn't read all the fine print. Yeah, maybe you should have. Another little funny aside was that PK called Dorit Lisa's best friend. Yes, but your best friend bought it. No. Yeah, Dorit is not Lisa Vanderpump's best friend. The takeaway from this scene is that Lisa said, I just wanted you to know that people were talking about it. And Dorit said, well, who? Like, tell me who. What she says is that this John is very upset about it. And John is good friends with Teddy, and he told Teddy. Somehow from that, Dorit has inferred that Teddy is now telling everybody about it. When in fact, we already saw a scene earlier where Teddy actually said to Kyle, yeah, I knew about it, but the reason I didn't tell you is because he said, don't tell anybody. And I was honoring that. So it wasn't Teddy that was telling everybody. It was probably John. You know, Dorit doesn't really like Teddy. So I think that she wants to think it was Teddy. This is one of those things that annoys me because Lisa could have clarified all that and said, no, Teddy didn't tell anybody else. But she didn't. Okay, now it is the big pool party at Kyle's house and everybody's showing up. Camille is there and all the ladies are there. Faye Resnick is there. I'm pretty sure she was like helping her set up because then we see this, I guess she had this charcuterie expert. And to me, it looked like it was just a massive table covered in food without any like dishes underneath the food, like just piles of things in different places of like meats and veggies and dips and all laid out on a table. I mean, it kind of looked cool. And if it was on a big plastic cloth, it would be super easy cleanup and no dishes. I kind of get it. Teddy and Dorit are connecting because of their boys, Jagger and Cruz. The two of them are by the pool with the boys and they're sitting on the edge and Jagger's kind of a jerk. Not really. I mean, he's little and that's how kids are, but he said something to Cruz and then Cruz looked at Teddy and Teddy goes, well, yeah, tell him you like him too. And so Cruz turned and said, I like you too. And then Jagger said, why is your face like that? Or something. Why do you make a weird face? And Cruz is like, this is how my face always is. Anyway, so Dorit is just ready for Teddy to bring up Doggate because she knows Teddy has something to hold over her and she's wondering when it's going to come out. Teddy's like, I'm not going to bring it up, especially not in front of the kids. And, you know, I learned my lesson, whatever. Kyle then later said, I feel like we have this big secret because when you're not good to a dog, like, that's a horrible reputation to have. I'm not sure she wasn't good to the dog. The dog bit her young children. Obviously, the big mistake she made is, why didn't she just bring it back to Vanderpump Dogs and say, thank you, this isn't going to work? I'll tell you one thing. I'm sure that dog got no attention because the kids get no attention. And that nanny's already busy. So don't add a dog on top of things. You know that Dorit and PK didn't spend time with the dog, right? It's probably for the best, but they should have brought it back to Vanderpump Dogs, that's all. Okay, not much else happens at this pool party. At one point, all the ladies are sitting on the steps together, chit-chatting, and I don't know. Then they decide to go home. There wasn't too much else happening, but that doesn't mean we are not in for an exciting season. The previews look mighty good. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Please don't forget to subscribe to Jill Informed if you haven't already. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to leave a comment down below. I love to hear from you guys. I hope to see you next time for the next recap of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Bye-bye.